a tiny fraction of the chemicals that a big fish has in it. So the small fish are a lot safer to eat. These small young fish, I should say. So yeah, you don't want to eat a native Fox River fish that's been in there for 5 years. Yeah, in fact, John lives right down by the Fox River, so he's right about where right near where I fish. I got to ask John, how well are you hearing Brent? And Brent, how well are you hearing John?
Yeah, I'm hearing Brent loud and clear.
Okay. I'm hearing Brent. I'm hearing you about 10 over. I'm hearing John about S9. So John's antenna has got some gain. Obviously, it's an off-center fed dipole in this band. So he's got some gain. I don't know, not much. I don't know, 3-4 dB. And he's actually pointed somewhat northwest. So he might be, yeah, he's off the side a little bit to you, Brent. What are you running on this band, Brent? Okay. Yeah, I looked at that antenna. I looked it up and looked at it, and wow, what a system! What a system! I gotta check that out. I gotta come over to your house and see that thing. I assume you have it on a tower? Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. That kind of seems like that's all the rage now is those hex beams. Now, Brent, I got to test your memory. Do you remember my 10-meter X beam that I had when I lived out on Bay Beach? I wish I had pictures of that. Yeah, that thing was sky high. Yeah, John. I think I may have shown John pictures, but back in the early '90s, I built a 3-element 20-meter monoband beam, and it was enormous. That's a big antenna. I suppose my antenna, my step IR is almost as big. The boom is, I think, 18 feet on the step IR instead of 20. And I put a tripod on my 2-story duplex, so this antenna was like wider than the duplex. I mean, it looked ridiculous up there. Now, Brent, you got to see. I'll have to send you a picture. This summer at WZ9Y, you might remember him, Mike, we put up a 4-element 20-meter monobander at his house at 40 feet. It would make you laugh to see it. Okay. Yeah, I don't think John's seen. John, did I show you some? I did. I showed you pictures of Mike's antenna, didn't I, on his house?
Yeah, I saw pictures of Mike's antenna. I've only heard stories about your Bay Beach antenna as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this antenna that Mike has is my 3-element monobander plus another element and another 10 feet of boom. So it's, you know, it's a 30-foot boom. I helped him put that thing up, and man, does that thing work! And it should. I mean, it's a monobender, but he's having so much fun with that antenna. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, he told me, I think the Ole Miss net, and I've been trying to update my net list. You know, 10, 15 years ago, I made up a net list that I had accumulated, and a lot of the nets are no more. You know, I've got like the Yaesu users net and the Heathkit net and the AMSat net, you know, for satellites, and Helicrafters net. I think a lot of those are just defunct. Hey, John, I'm going to send you, I'll send you a link. I found a website that, and I can't remember what it is. I'll have to forward it to you. But it tells you what nets are on HF at any given moment. It's kind of cool. So if you decide, hey, I want to get on the radio, or maybe I want to get on the radio, what nets are going on? You can check and go, oh yeah, I'd like to check into the, you know, the moon bounce net. You know, in fact, that's one of my nets that used to run, the moon bounce net. It used to run on Sundays at 1600 UTC on 14345. So I think all that stuff kind of went away. But I don't know. I suppose that stuff comes and goes. It's not unusual, but it's just it's tricky to get things updated again. So anyway, I see my Collins net is still going. But John, yeah, I'll send you that website, and you can maybe check into some nets here and there and see what's going on.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for it.
Brent, do you know what I'm talking about with the list of nets? Okay. Yep. Yeah, I'll send that to him. That's nice. I just found it. I'm now that I'm retired, I'm planning on, and I have been doing a lot of ham radio. So, in fact, I fixed both my repeater antennas this summer. Took them both apart and cleaned them up and put them back together. And I put new connectors on the LMR 600. Bought a special crimper and the connectors and put those on right up there on the tower. That was a lot of fun. So. Lots of stuff. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Let me check that. John, go ahead, take it away. John, tell Brent about your radio, and I'm not sure what model it is. Take it away.
Yeah, it's just a FT891, so smaller radio. Yeah, 100 watts, a pretty common radio, so figured it was a good radio to start with. I don't know, probably I guess the only downside is not many buttons, a lot of menus, but I think I'll pick up on that pretty fast, and most of that stuff you kind of set and forget anyway, so I don't know, just something to start with. No, it's just HF only. Yeah, and I actually, I went that Hamfest went to this summer. There was a good deal on, I can't remember, it was a bigger set. Maybe I should have got that, but I don't know, I just kind of wanted something smaller, kind of test the waters and maybe try mobile and, you know, get involved in field day and do some things like that. So that's why I got a smaller radio. Yeah, and I think with that tuner, that LDG, you can run that on a 9-volt battery, I believe. And actually you can run on that for a year. So it's, I don't know, it's just a good setup for any field work anyway. Yeah, that's what I saw on YouTube. I was kind of looking at what guys were using, and it seems to me, yeah, when you switch bands and key up, it turns down the power, does its thing, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, I loaded that up. That's cool. That's cool. Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah. No, you got to tell me. Gosh, I think you've had you don't have an FT1000D anymore, do you? You had one, didn't you? Okay, and what did you think of it? Wow. Now tell me, have you had a 940 Kenwood? Now tell me what you think of that. Okay. Hey, I got to ask you a question. I've got a 940 here, and I've got it all souped up. I've got the upgraded power supply and did a bunch of stuff to it. It's a modern switching power supply. That was one of the weaknesses of that radio. And I've got a mil-spec TCXO I'm going to install in it. I'm kind of hot rodding it. It's kind of fun. But I was kind of, I've always wondered how the 1000D compared. Now you got to give me an honest. I've got processor on right now. Give me an audio. Give me your audio ear and I'm going to turn the processor off and tell me what you think for what you like, a good broadcast, closer to broadcast quality. Which do you like better, with a little bit of processing, or there's the processor off? Testing 1 2 1 2. Processor is off, and then the processor's back on. Just tickling it, not real heavy. What do you think? Okay, that's kind of what I thought. I listened to the monitor, and that's kind of what I think as well. So that's great. I love the 940, and part of the reason I got it, it was a dream radio at one time. I actually ended up picking one up I picked the original one up for a friend of mine. He's a technician. Guy in the Corvette Club. We weightlift together too for many years now. It's almost 14 years. Him and I have been weightlifting together. The KD9AJU. And I wanted to get him a nice rig, so I started looking around, and I thought, boy, the Kenwood 940s were reasonably priced. And so I checked around, found a nice one, bought it, and I played with it to make sure everything worked good. And I was like, man, I like this radio. So then I did some horse trading and sold. He had a Kenwood TS140, so we sold that and some of his other stuff, I think, and came up with enough money to buy the 940. Well, then I was like on a mission to buy a 940, and this would have been like January of 2020. So I found one way up north, just mint, looks like brand new. And then after I went through and cleaned up some of the wiring from the power supply, the guy that I bought it from installed the power supply. So I went in and cleaned it up. It was just a little sloppy, not bad. And then I had Steve go through it, KE9LZ, and I don't know, for $150 he went through the thing front to back, up to down, and gave me alignment, and put his golden screwdriver in there, and I figured that was worth every cent. So I've had that rig since 2000. I don't turn it on much, but I like it. I like it. Again, I don't think it's fair to compare these new rigs to 35-year-old radios. I mean, they are what they are. It's like my old Helicrafter station. It's just not a fair comparison. But it's still usable and I don't know, I think fun. So, yeah, these radios, I think, my opinion, Brent, is these radios are so good now that there's just really not much left. I think, when I got my 1000 MP, that was a great radio. I got those. I had two of them, actually. The second one I got in 1998, and that's still running. I only had some relays fail that I replaced then about 10 years ago, and then I sold that radio to Steve, KB9AGK, and he's still running it. In fact, I just saw the radio yesterday. So these radios are so good. I just don't think that there's much left to make them any better. What do you think, Brent? I mean, how much better can they get? Yeah, it's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle, and it really is. It's so much better than I ever thought it would get. The stuff that the roofing filters. I remember when that became a thing. I mean, that was expensive. They didn't put them in because they were too expensive. they didn't use that technology, and all of a sudden the technology got to be inexpensive enough, though, because of precision manufacturing. So yeah, it's a good time to be a ham, and honestly, the cost of ham radios has come down. You know, you can buy a nice HF rig used for $1,000. And that's a to me, I think that's a nice radio. Like a Kenwood TS2000. I run that's what I run in my boat, a Kenwood TS2000 with HF and 2 meters and 440. So, in fact, I know I know where there's a late model. My brother-in-law's got a late model from 2015, a TS2000 for sale. So. Mine's 2013. They had some manufacturing issues, I think, with the crystal filters, I think, at some point. So this is well after that. So anyway, John, take it away. I'm out of words. Can you believe it? Let's see. KD9KIX, KB9GKC with N9BC in the back.
I don't know. I'll have to mark this day down. Doug didn't have anything to say. I actually am probably going to head out here pretty quick. Just was busy all night doing leaves, and I don't know. Haven't got a chance to unwind yet, so I'll probably take off. But Brent, it was nice to talk to you, and it'll be nice to see you at the Hamfest this weekend. And Doug, we'll see you Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Okay, John. Good. Glad you got on here, man, and congratulations. You're HF active. That's cool. That's cool. Good for you. Brent, go ahead. Oh yeah, well I agree, and it's probably better up here.